Have you ever wondered why do we expend so much energy explaining, proving or seeking acceptance from others when our very own selves have never truly been heard? A depth psychologist revealed a truth most of us evade. Happiness does not reside in being recognized, but in self-recognition. This journey is called individuation. You courageously venture inward, gazing at what you have always avoided: chaos, fear, and the shadow aspects. So what truly happens when you pause, withdraw your energy from the external world, and begin to focus utterly inward? What shifts when you choose silence and allow the outcomes to speak on your behalf? That journey is not for the superficial. It demands that you confront the emptiness in the absence of surrounding noise, and summon the courage to accept that truth sometimes echoes only in silence. But it is precisely in that moment that you uncover a different form of power. The power of one who channels all energy into inner growth, into becoming the most authentic version of oneself. The question is, are you ready to embrace silence, cease explaining, and let your actions and very presence declare it all? Part 1. Why is silence powerful? In a world where people seem endlessly vying to speak out, to prove themselves, to be seen and acknowledged, silence becomes a rare luxury. We have grown accustomed to responding instantly, to saying something that fits the moment, to defending our views lest we appear weak. Yet, there is a profound paradox. It is precisely when we dare to be silent, when we refuse the compulsion to voice ourselves, that we truly enter the realm of inner power. Silence is not merely the absence of words, it is a state of consciousness. It is the moment when we withdraw energy from external distractions to return inward. In depth psychology, this is the instant when we allow the unconscious, that profound layer often obscured by the clamor of daily life, to begin to speak. When we are caught up in speaking, we hear only the echo of the ego, the social mask persona we don to adapt. But when we halt, when we fall silent, the shadow rises, the repository of repressed parts, denied emotions, and true power can only emerge when we dare to confront it. Consider a very ordinary situation. You find yourself in an argument with a colleague or loved one. In contrast, if you choose silence, granting yourself a few deep breaths, you gain the clarity to see the bigger picture. Silence is not defeat. It is a form of control. Control over energy, emotions, and the very dynamics at play. This is the power that noise can never attain. Modern psychology confirms this. When entering silence, the prefrontal cortex, the hub of thinking and decision-making, gains space to operate. Freed from limbic interference, we see clearly and choose wisely. Thus, the pause functions as a pause button, restoring the brain's balance and yielding sharper decisions. Just as to hear the sound of a stream, we must step away from the bustling marketplace. Silence provides the environment for dialogue between consciousness and the unconscious. From another angle, silence is also a form of refusal. When we are silent, we refuse to join the dance of the collective ego. Silence is the refusal to be drained by the demands of comparison, competition, and proof. It is a declaration. I do not need to explain myself to you to exist. Conversely, the one who chooses silence, focusing solely on daily effort, accumulates power through consistency. This is enduring power unaccompanied by fanfare, yet yielding unmistakable results. Just as in music, the spaces between notes craft the melody. If everything were continuous sound, the piece would dissolve into chaos. It is silence that gives sound its meaning. Yet the power of silence extends beyond the personal or social. It is the bridge to the spiritual realm, to the mysterious depths of the psyche. Imagine sitting before a still lake. If the surface is rippled by wind or voices, you see only chaotic waves. But when the water lies calm, it becomes a mirror reflecting the entire sky. The human mind is the same. So before every hasty response, try 3 deliberate breaths and survey the whole. That is the pause button returning choice to your hands. Part 2. Focusing on oneself is not selfishness, but awakening. But that power holds meaning only when directed rightly inward toward the personal journey. This is where so many misunderstand. They deem self-focus as selfishness, neglecting others and placing the ego above all. It is not selfishness, but awakening. For only by becoming yourself can you truly be present for others. We give until depleted, strain to please everyone, and one day awaken to find ourselves strangers in our own lives. Imagine you are an ancient tree. If you do not nourish your roots with soil, water, and light, you cannot offer shade to anyone. A tree cannot say, I need no soil. I only need to shelter others. The truth is it must draw sustenance, nurture itself first. In contrast, a mother who tends to herself maintaining balance imparts a different lesson. Love means living fully with oneself to radiate peace to others. When you continually suppress your needs, that rejected part does not vanish. It burrows into the unconscious, growing stronger until it erupts as anger, envy, exhaustion, or even illness. Self-focus also means daring to gaze at your most authentic parts, both light and dark. It is the courage to face what you typically evade. Think of those who amid crisis choose to turn inward. Many emerge from loss, illness, or shock more insightful, profound, and empowered. A year later, he not only secured a better job, but also emerged more confident, resilient, and intentional in living. And from that moment, you can step outward and be fully present with others. You no longer give love from fear of loss, but from abundance. Do not rush to answer. Simply sit with a question. For sometimes silence alone unlocks answers that 1,000 words cannot yield. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Part 3. Why do things start to fall into place when you are silent and focused? And then, as you gradually live in alignment with that true self, a strange phenomenon begins to unfold. There is a famous concept, synchronicity, the phenomenon of meaningful coincidence. When a person enters deep harmony with their inner world, the outer world begins to rearrange itself to reflect that change. Recall a time in your life when your mind was in turmoil, when you were pulled into countless distractions, arguments, and anxieties. At that moment, everything around you also became chaotic. Psychology calls it the reticular activating system, RA, a filtering mechanism of the brain. When you focus on something, the RA automatically brings related opportunities, information, and connections into your field of vision. A familiar example. Have you ever noticed that when you decide to buy a certain car, suddenly you see that model everywhere? Imagine a mirror. When it is covered in dust, the image you see is distorted and blurry. But when you wipe away the dust, the reflection becomes clear. Life is the same. When you are dominated by noise and distraction, what you attract is chaos. But when you are silent, focused, you are wiping clean the inner mirror. However, there is an important truth. You cannot pretend to emit the energy you want while inside you are chaotic and misaligned with it. The universe is not fooled by the mask. Thus, the prerequisite for things truly falling into place is that you must be honest with yourself. Not pretending peace, but truly embarking on the healing journey. This is why calm, focused, quiet people often give the impression that they attract everything. They do not need to compete, do not need noise, yet doors seem to open for them because they have opened the door within themselves. So when you feel everything is disordered, when life seems against you, it may not be the off-kilter world, but you who have strayed from your center. The solution is not to run seeking more answers outside, but to stop, be silent, and focus. Part 4. Silence and focus are the gateway to depth. But something deeper is this. Silence and focus do not merely help you regain external balance. They open a far vaster inner journey. Then the mind is like a lake constantly stirred by the wind. Beneath there are countless creatures, currents and secrets, but we never see them. Only when the water stills, when silence is established, do we glimpse that depth. It could be writing a few lines in a journal at nightfall, not to judge yourself, but to allow suppressed voices the chance to appear on the page. Imagine descending into a deep cave in the earth. When still holding a blazing torch, the firelight casts jagged shadows on the walls, distorting everything so you see only chaos. But when you lower the torch, you begin to discern the true forms. A sleepless night, no phone, no one to talk to, just you with yourself. Suddenly, old memories surface. Unanswered questions arise. In Christianity, the image of desert hermits and ascetics like Saint Anthony the Great, father of the hermits, carries the same spirit. They leave noisy cities for desolate places, to confront themselves and God in absolute silence. The archetype of the hermit is this image, a figure withdrawn, holding a lantern illuminating the path in darkness. It is the lantern of consciousness, and the darkness is the unconscious. Once you step into depth, you are no longer swayed by surface things. Petty comparisons, criticisms, and vain desires lose their weight. Instead, you feel solidly grounded. You are no longer a leaf blown by the wind, but the root of your own life tree. From here, what you do, what you say carries new weight, the weight of one who has touched depth. Your visions will become clear when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. As you reach the end of this journey, what lingers is not the applause of the masses, but the steady rhythm of an inner world that has found its footing. Transformation needs no fireworks. It grows quietly, like roots sinking deep into soil, a little each day, unshowy but enduring. A new day can thus begin differently. Instead of rushing affirmations, you allow yourself minutes of quiet to align your state. Instead of hasty retorts, you breathe deeply and recognize the rising emotion. That softening is not a compromise. It is the dignity of one who has found a center to return to after every great wind. From that foundation, connections self-purify, work clarifies, and time ceases wasting on performances. When your rhythm harmonizes, results know how to speak. If these lines touch you, leave yourself a small marker. Save this piece as a gentle reminder each time the world pulls you outward.